The Senate Committee on Public Services will hold its first hearing on ABS-CBN's franchise and its alleged violations next Monday, February 24. That would be 3 days earlier than what was originally calendared. Committee Chairman Senator Grace Poe says difficulties in securing a venue for the hearing was what prompted the change in schedule. Poe's move comes after Solicitor General Jose Calida filed a very urgent motion for the issuance of a gag order against the network on Tuesday. The Supreme Court will not meet in a full court session until February 26, when they may rule on Calida's motion. ABS-CBN stocks have been following a downward trend, and it's not just due to its shaky franchise renewal. The trend has been observed since President Duterte first assumed office. Dale De Vera with the story.
Even prior to the Office of the Solicitor General filing a co-warrantor case against ABS-CBN, the media giant's stock on the local bourse has been heavily battered. In fact, this has been the case since President Rodrigo Duterte took his oath back in June 30, 2016. Back then, ABS-CBN shares were priced at over 46 pesos apiece, but has since plummeted over 61% to settle where it is now, just a little over 18 pesos a share. But the stock has managed to stage a rebound since the filing. It has climbed over 8%. But for June Kalaykay, head of research of PhilStocks Financial, uncertainties still abound over the network's franchise.
Naging palaisipan sa merkado kung ano ba mangyayari kay ABS, no? With the president regularly insisting na hindi niya papayagang ma-renew yung franchise.
But Kalaykay believes ABS-CBN may still recover even if its franchise may not be renewed and even as some shareholders pull out. The company's business ventures like Star Cinema and Star Publishing, he says, may be a saving grace to bump up prices of its shares, but Kalaykay admits fading investor confidence may be a problem.
It's hard to operate in an environment na you don't know what's going to happen next day. Diba? Sabi nga nila, business thrives on predictability. I think if you invest in ABS now at where it is, malaki ang potentials, but malaki din yung risk.
Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez, however, believes that with a co-warrantor case, more foreigners might be enticed to invest in the Philippines when the Supreme Court favors the petition against the TV network.
There's a claim by the OSG that there's a violation of the regulations, and in fact it might be a constitutional violation. I think that if that's proven, the investors will say, oh, these guys are upholding the rule of law.
Meanwhile, several business groups have already called on lawmakers to start hearing the franchise renewal bill for ABS-CBN. They asked members of Congress to give the bill an equal chance to be discussed. For News 5, Dale De Vera, We're One News.
Meanwhile, retired Chief Justice Reynato Puno is weighing in on the issue, in this case saying the network can no longer operate after its franchise expires. Puno cited an earlier ruling by the High Court which said the media franchise can only come from Congress and that the National Telecommunications Commission cannot issue a provisional permit, as some congressmen have suggested.
We made it clear that a franchise is a franchise from Congress is necessary. It is indispensable before a person or entity or institution.
Puno says a provision in the Constitution gives the exclusive power to grant franchises to the lower house. The Senate has decided to tackle the ABS-CBN's franchise renewal ahead of the House.
Nakalagay sa konstitusyon natin, dapat yan should proceed, should come from the House of Representatives. Halimbawa, nasa kanila na yung mga bills na yan. Anong limitation ng Senado? Makaka-intervene ba sila dyan? Habang yung bill ay nasa House, considering exclusive yung authority na yan?